Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Factorio Plus Plus. Today, we are setting up the last of the smelting arrays. Yay! Now, we are going to be, like I said, setting these up, getting them ready, making them all running, and hopefully we can get the outputs set up in a main bus format. And then next episode, we can start our main bus. Get some real science going and so on and so forth. Now, this part is tedious. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of placements, and not having robots or blueprints or any of the convenience items is quite a pain up here. Ooh, and I need copper. Okay, I will have to go get some of that. But doing all of this is extremely tedious. It takes a lot of time. It's not fun, but it is necessary. You know, I mean, you don't have to do it, obviously. You can get away with not going as excessive on the smelting as this, but when it comes down to it, the more time you spend now, the less time you have to spend later. And you can upgrade all of these to the steel furnaces, and then your output is just that much better, and you didn't have to do any more work other than change them all over, which is really quick. So yeah, I like this array. It works out really well for me. I've just always done it this way. And it's convenient. I mean, the only downside to me is that it does take a lot of tedious repetition. There's a lot of place the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But the smelting array needs to be done one way or another. And I can go lazy on it and just not do as much or as pretty or, you know, whatever. But it comes out so much better in the short run and the long run by doing it this way. So, placing in the long-handeds for the steel, and this one takes the coal in to feed them, and then the second one takes the iron into this second furnace so that it actually mixes steel instead of just another iron production. And of course this line powers those furnaces. So it's quite a bit bigger, almost double the size of a single smelting line. But for steel, it's kind of necessary. Can't really get away without doing it this way. And you'll start to see, and you can see it starting there already, the pollution will just ramp up. It will get so much bigger so quickly here. Become a giant cloud of pollution, and that is why I took care of the biters before turning any of this on, because they would come running in just fleets of biters if I had just turned this on and not taken care of their expansion chunks or the base that was right there. Especially since I was not prepared for an attack, that would not have worked out very well. And I mean, I have 10 turrets now. I made them in the last episode to prepare to go take care of the base and then didn't end up using them. So I've got 10 just sitting on me should I need to set up a area for protection. I can do so. I will have to get used to the whole normal turret idea. like I've said previously, I play a lot of modded Factorio because I just enjoy it that way. It's so much more enjoyable for me. And it's not that I don't like the base game. I absolutely love the base game. But there's just so much more content that it's amazing to play modded. And one of the things that I've gotten used to because of modded is sniper turrets. And those are turrets that act as sniper rifles instead of basic machine guns. So they shoot a really, really long ways away, but really slowly, and do a lot of damage with each shot. And so I usually line my base with those, and biters just never even get close. So I'm not sure the power of basic turrets anymore, especially since there's no multi-level. I'm used to having Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 turrets, so on and so forth, that all upgrade with time as the biters upgrade, and yeah. But because I don't have that, I'm gonna have to relearn how the base game's turrets work, because I've not done it in a while. So there's shotgun shell damage. 2 is going to take green, so the speed is the last red only. And that's okay, we're going to get our green science and actual science production up and running here soon. In fact, we are just about there. Grab some copper and then put down these last poles and we will be good to go. Now, I've not hooked in the stone for smelting because I don't actually need it yet. So I will do that at another time, should it come to it. I'm not looking to put down bricks in my factory, but I will be doing concrete eventually. When I will be doing concrete, I have no idea. Probably with robots, because that's a lot of concrete placement. Now, I normally do steel chests as buffer for all of my plates and such. I think I'm going to do wood chests because the steel chests are just too much. So I'm gonna need to go get a bit of wood. There's some close by. There's a forest down there. I will go that away to get some though, because going into the desert for wood just doesn't quite make sense. We won't need too much, will we? 2 pieces of wood per chest, and I'm gonna need a lot of chests. So yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of wood. That's okay. Just go ahead and use up this pick. Collecting wood. I mean, I could make iron chests, but again, the idea is just to have it conveniently small, the inventory, without having to specify how much space I want in there. Because normally, at least in the modded, right, I end up placing 32 chests of buffer storage per line. So each iron line, each steel line, and copper line, and I do multiple in this modded just because you need so many resources. So each line has 32 boxes for buffer storage. Now, each steel chest has 48 inventory spaces, and since each inventory space can hold 200 plates in the modded, I end up having 9,600 plates of buffer storage in each chest. So 32 chests worth of 9,600 plates. That's a bit much for storage, don't you think? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love having excess. I go big or I go home. That's just how I do things. I want them to be huge, I want them to be infinitely expandable. I want them to be massive, everything I do. I mean, this is the very first smelting array, and it's massive, right? So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 32 is, what, 128? So I'm going to need quite a few more chests. But we're almost there. But yeah, so the idea is, instead of having that many, I guess plates only stack to 100 in the vanilla game, which is where we are. And these chests only have 12 or 16 storage slots, excuse me. And so I will only be storing up 1.6k per chest, which 32 times 1.6k is a lot more reasonable. Still not necessary. I in no way need that much storage, but I'm still gonna set it out just because that's what I want to do. So 1, 2, just like this, and run these out. Not there. And this is our actual output line. So this will be our buffer storage area right here. And all this does is give me backup. Make sure that I have a bunch of extra more than I actually need. Now I'm gonna go grab myself the inserters that are being backed up here, crafted for me automatically, because I'm going to need quite a few more. I think it's 48 per little buffer area. So 3 more times 48, so I need at least 3 more stacks of inserters for this. And 5 stacks will do me just fine. Thank you very much, setup. And I'm gonna need a whole bunch of belts eventually for the bus system, getting everything run through. But I have plenty on me for the current time. Let's see, so do like this. And steel is just a little bit different because of the second line of smelters. It kind of puts the output, these output lines, out of sync with the rest of it. But that's okay. Just pull them in a little bit and everything is good to go. Oh, please excuse me. That came out of nowhere. So there's the steel setup, and now that I've got some chests made, just put a chest in all of these slots. And there we go. That is iron buffer storage and steel buffer storage. Now, I guess in the long haul, you know, there's not a big reason to have this much buffer storage. The idea of having it at all is simply so that if your factory is on or off one moment to the next, you know, you still have capacity so that, assuming that your factory turns on and off, you know, it's not just consistently running at full pelt all the time, then if your smelting array or your ore input just isn't enough to keep up, then you've already got some made to output so that you don't actually have to make it as you need it. That's the main idea of buffer storage, at least in my mind. But having this much, again, it's just excessive, and it's the way I do things. Not necessarily because they need to be this way, but because excessive. I just like things to be too much sometimes. And like I said, you know, usually I do steel chests instead of wooden chests here. So I even take excessive to a whole nother level in my modded series. And you can definitely argue that I play the game extremely slow to start off with, but that's just because I'm willing to put in the extra time here at the beginning to get all this set up the right way the first time, not have to come back and worry about it later. Just do it right the first time and then you don't have to redo it. Alright, buffer storage for stone. Put down the chests. Should have 5 left over. And like this much stone brick, I'm never really gonna use, like honestly. But I have it anyways, you know. It's just the way I do things, I suppose. Alrighty. Well, I feel successful. We have actually completed the furnace arrays. Now let's see. For the main bus, I'll probably go downwards. Pull out my lines maybe to here and go down. Sounds good to me. I don't see any reason not to. Alright, well, I guess let's get on with pulling out those lines then. Just start with the iron line, why not? Not sure why it skipped a space there. Take out these trees. I said I wanted to go about to here, this is fine. Take out the trees in the way. And with the 1 HP mod, taking out trees is very easy. This is why I have this mod right here. Normally that would have taken so much time, even with the shotgun. Just would not have been worth it. Do I want stone bricks to be on this line? I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything that really needs them to be on the line. But for aesthetic purposes, I'm going to have them there anyways. Why not? So that is the iron line. Come over and run the steel one as well. Okay, shooting speed. Let's get the very last red only science, which will mark me needing to actually get the bus up and running because I need to get science going. Ooh, I ran out of belts. I ran out of belts. How dare I? I shall go and get more belts. And in fact, while I'm up there, I'm gonna go ahead and set up. Before I go up, I'll put down a raider. But while I'm up there, I will set up the miners. I've already got 54 crafted. Hopefully I won't need too many more than that. But I will set up the ones for the ore deposits so that they are fully being mined out as much as possible. Radars there just to help get me a little better view of this part of the map that I've not explored very much of. We've got huge water pockets, which are quite convenient actually, blocking off a good chunk of attack area for the biters. Will make our base easier to defend should we need to go about doing that. Alright. Let's see. I need the belt. Do I need to keep any of this is my question. I assume those, yeah, they ran out of coal. That's okay. I think I'm just gonna tear it all down. I don't need it anymore, that is for sure. It's convenient, but I don't need it. So I'm just gonna start tearing it all down. This way I can put in all of my miners and this area can just be done with. And if I end up needing any more of these supplies that I am currently auto-crafting, I will just have to craft them in my inventory. Like a pleb. Take all of these things. All of the things I will take. Take it all. Take it all down. Okay. And you need to be there. Take out these as well. Okay, so miner there, there and there. Should take out all of these furnaces as well. My inventory is nearly full of iron plates at the moment, which is fine because I have plenty of storage for that to go in. And just take all of this out. It will all be remade soon enough, just in the proper spot. Alright, there we go. And get the rest of these miners in. Set them up like so. Make sure that they're all powered. Get the belt outward. Just like that. And unnecessary number of miners on this last little bit. Run this us out, and this will have to do us for this episode. So thank you so much for watching. In the next, we will finish up putting down miners to fully mine out all of these resources. Probably include stone in that. And then we get to the main bus, the actual main bus. We get to actually play the game now. Alrighty, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.